What the FinTech is a news and information platform covering the latest FinTech development in Hong Kong, Singapore, China, and Asia. Join us every Wednesday for an engaging conversation with various Asian tech figures to discuss about entrepreneurships, emerging technologies, customer engagement, and partnerships. And today we have Kinni. Kinni, hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
You are the founder and CEO of Mindlayer, right?
Yes.
Great to have you here. And you want to cheers, right?
Yeah, cheers.
Thank you for coming here. I'm really happy to see you because you are one of the most prominent person here on AI, NLP. Your company is doing a lot. And from my experience with DBS, I saw what you are doing. But before we can go to start this interview, maybe you can introduce yourself and where you are from, what you are doing, and share a bit more about you for knowing you before we start discussions.
Sure. So, thank you for having me today. I feel really comfortable talking to you, so I'm
Thank you.
very excited. Yeah. So, a little bit about my background. I graduated in City University of Hong Kong. I'm a local graduate, and then I started a company called Mindlayer in Hong Kong. We are doing AI platforms to help call centers to do automation. Basically, we are automating contact centers. So we have two major products. One is called Conversation. So Conversation is our AI platform that you can build chatbot, voice bot, or a smart IVR system that can help the user to navigate to different information they need. Another product that we are building is called Speech Analytics, which turns speech data into actionable insights, so that you can have an AI to listen to all your calls and to do analytics to find out which call is high risk or any area that you can improve your customer service. So we're trying to help contact center to have a high degree of automation through AI technologies.
So you start your company right after you finish to graduate, or you work before doing this?
Oh, I was working in the city in the university as a research assistant.
Okay.
So yes, my background is from this research background, and then uh, the thing is, I get a chance to visit Silicon Valley. I have a bootcamp course in Stanford University about 10 days.
Mhm.
And during the 10 days, I actually, before I joined the tech camp, I was doing mobile apps business. I selling mobile apps on Google Play, on the app stores to earn some extra money, this kind of things. So when the time I was having fun in Stanford,
Mhm.
so nobody's take care of the business. Nobody answered the CS. Nobody going to reply to reviews on the Play Store. So I can see that the sales drop a lot. The sales dropped a lot. So I was imagine, could we build something that we can automate the reply? Could we automate the customer engagement or customer response so that I can enjoy my time while the business can still going up? So we come back from Silicon Valley and we build a POC, a proof of concept. And I remember back then we was doing an email proof of concept. So when next time customer sending us an email, it will be automatically replied. And then we follow through the whole selling process. So everything is done automatically. And then we think that, well, if we as a small business have this kind of problem, how about those large enterprise like the banks or like other utilities? How are they serve their customers? They must be spending a lot of money on this. If we can help them to do some certain degree of automation, maybe it's a good opportunity for us to make a good business. That's why we started the company.
And your first proof of concept was internal, only for your company or for your university, or it was also an order from another company asking you to develop it?
Especially for the app company, just as I mentioned that we are selling apps, mobile apps on a
Yeah,
Play
yeah.
Store. We do use that as a proof of concept,
Okay, cool.
and then it worked. And then we are very lucky. Because we very fast. We scale out, and then we found that we was the second batch of DBS Accelerator program.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember
I mean,
this.
we are the second batch, and then we are very lucky enough because we had a chance to work together with a real customer, so that we learn a lot how a bank approach this kind of technology, or how we should position ourselves in the industry, these kind of things.
Do you remember how long it took you to develop your proof of concepts at that time? It was a couple of weeks or a couple of months?
Just a couple of weeks.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm an engineering background. I know how
Mhm.
to write codes, and I know this kind of machine learning NLP stuff. So it's easy and fun for me. And most important is it's really really fun for me. I can do this all day. Overnight. I don't need any rest because I really enjoy building things. Yeah,
So you're
we're making proof
passionate
of
about
concepts.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
You spoke about like you joined DBS during that second batch of the accelerator.
Yeah.
So is where you develop your business model at that moment, or did you like just improve your product?
Both. So we work with DBS, so we know how to refine our products. So what actually the pain points that we can help our customers solve is not only the customer engagement, but also how the management can do some analytics or reportings, this kind of stuff. They also need that, but we were lacking that components back then. So working with DBS, we know how to improve our product. And then we because we have so good reference, okay, because DBS is our client, we use this reference, we can go outside and get other customers as well.
So you spoke about the other customer. Maybe you cannot share the name of them, but can you share at least the industry and what you are doing with them?
We were very fast. We get another client from industry, from insurance company. It's a very large insurance. And speaking of that, it's actually one of my failure because we like within the first 6 months we get a very large customer.
Mhm.
They give us a very large check. But back then, because we was very young, I just graduated from university and from a research background and turned it into a CEO of the company. I have no idea what is management. I have no idea about what is financing. This kind of stuff. That um, it just back then I know nothing about it. And then but suddenly I got a giant client. It's very large insurance companies. So I still remember when we have meeting together. My team and I, we only 4 people,
Mhm.
but but there's 12 staffs, on the other side, and then each one asks one question, and then we are all very young, very green. We don't know how to answer, and we tried our best to deliver good services, but it turned out we did not meet the level of expectations. And then we failed to manage the customer, to manage the project, and then they fire us at the end. So that's a very brilliant failure, I could say. It's very brilliant because that opened my mind that I tried to figure out, okay, we did wrong. Okay, we did horrible. So we have to improve next time. So next time we need to have some management. We need to add more salesperson because salesperson have to build relationship with the client. This kind of things that really teach me a lot. Yeah, that's a very good experience.
So fail fast, but learn fast as well, right?
Yeah.
And what is the business model of your company? Are you mostly a SaaS company, or do you like just do tailor-made solution for
Mm.
companies?
That's a very interesting question. At the starting point of the company, we tried to be a SaaS model. Okay, we're trying to be a SaaS company. We did some experiments with other vendors, but we found that the quality they deliver did not meet our standard.
Mhm.
So we saw a quality gap there. So that's why now most of the time we serve our client directly. So we help them to tailor make their solution for them using our product. Okay, but we do have what we're working on a series of or training material. We want to form an academy, this kind of stuff, so to teach the people what is the best way, the best practice for building a conversational AI, how to build them, what steps you are going through, and what are the best practice. This kind of stuff. We're trying to build a industrial standards. That's what we're doing inside. Yeah, so that when we build a standard, we are confident that other people using our product can deliver high quality products, then we will go back to the SaaS again. That's
Your
the roadmap of the what we are doing in the company.
your company is focusing on AI models, right?
Yeah,
And especially in NLP, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah,
So, what distinguishes your company from other NLP companies that you can find here on the market in Hong Kong or maybe in Asia?
yeah. That's a very good question. Because we found that, especially those big brands, okay, big tech giants, they are. I believe they have been overlooking Hong Kong market because Hong Kong market is very unique. You have to deal with different languages. They're mixed language speak together. So one of our key advantages is all our AI models are trained with mixed language. For example, we did a experiment comparing the accuracy of speech recognitions, comparing with different international products. Clearly, our product is a winner because the foundation that we train our model, we are using a mixed language. That's one of advantage. The second advantage of us is we have a flexible deployment. Most of the big brands they are using cloud APIs, you have only one option is go cloud. Okay, but we are offering flexible deployment. We can deploy using our cloud, or we can deploy to your private cloud or public cloud, or we can deploy into your own data center. So we give different deployment options to our client so that they can choose whatever option that they will feel comfortable. Another thing is we help them to customize their needs. That's very important. For example, and speaking of speech recognition, when you say something, because in Chinese there's many characters they pronounce the same. Okay, they pronounce the same. So most of the time, those big brands they provide the APIs. They only produce consistent result. They never tailor made or never fit your industry or fit your goal. So one of our key advantages is we will enhance our base model uh, according to the needs of our customers. For example, when you're talking about Apple, okay, if you go to Fortress, you're talking about Apple. Apple means iPhone, iPad, these kind of things. But if you go to Pat and Shaw, when you talk about Apple, they give you the real Apple.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just different meanings, right? Different tricky. So we have the capability to help our client to modify or to enhance our base model to fit their needs, to improve the performance.
Yeah, and there is a couple of video from like these famous Instagrammers here in
Yeah.
Hong Kong, and they say like in Cantonese, each country has its own flag, and I
Mm.
think in terms of pronunciation, it's every time go 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 go. But I can't make it right. But like I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Is it really hard for an AI or an NLP now in 2022 to differentiate the different words from different language? For example, in Hong Kong or in Singapore, people can speak, for example, in
Yeah.
Chinese and also use English name for the font names or the product names. Is now NLP ready to differentiate both language, or it's still hard to make a differentiation for them?
I think that nowadays the resources are available can definitely help you to speed up the development. For example, in the previous time, those data set that the proprietary you cannot use, and people won't share their own data sets. But now people are open. You can use a lot of open data set from Google, from Microsoft Research. They have been open source a lot of data set, which can help you to speed up the development. So I would say now the NLP capabilities is really really strong. Especially you have the open source or the base model data set to help you. So you on top of that you add your own domain data on that. Your model will become super strong. Yeah.
Interesting. You spoke about your two products, so conversation and analytics. Which one is the most successful one at this moment? Which one is
Mm.
your like best selling for companies?
The cash cow of the company is our conversation. So because we have a lot of experience delivering a chatbot or voice bot, this kind of projects we do a lot. So and we most I would say in terms of end customer engagement, we we should be the number one in Hong Kong. So because all our clients they are very very big,
Mhm.
yeah. I can't mention the name, but those are big name in Hong Kong. They are using our service, they're using our products, and yeah.
And how many employees do you have right now?
Now we have 20.
20.
Yep.
All based in Hong Kong, or you have like employees in Shenzhen or maybe in Taipei or Vietnam?
That's a good question. Right now, all of them are based in Hong Kong, but
Okay.
yeah, that the cost is going up higher and higher. So we're exploring to expand to maybe in overseas and recruit more talent all over the world.
Is it hard to recruit in Hong Kong right now?
Very hard.
The talent is lacking, or like you don't have enough opportunities to hiring people?
I think people have it's not lacking, but people have options. So you don't work for this company, you go to another company. So you got a lot of choice. So when you have a choice, the people will make decisions. Maybe your and now especially the young teenagers, they are not only looking at the salary. They want to know about the company culture. Like wow, this is a cool company. I want to work for them, even they pay a low salary. So this kind of things. Making the hiring very difficult. So I'm very lucky because one of my colleague he is actually very interested in NLP and chatbot stuff, and then he visited our LinkedIn
Mhm.
and then send us an email, say, hey, are you hiring, this kind of things, and then we hire him. The fun fact is we spend a lot of budget on the recruiting on different job ad posting platform.
Yes.
Yeah, but the feedback's not that good. But this colleague is by some accident, by luck, I don't know, it's just by chance.
It was super proactive to reach out to you.
Yeah. So I'm so lucky to have you on board.
And like when I speak with the different entrepreneurs coming here, they mentioned about like spending still a lot of times every week to speak with people to recruit, right? Like some of the big corporate here, they say like they spend still 20% of the times, or the entrepreneurs they say maybe they try to have like at least 5 interviews a week. Do you still meet people or speak with potential candidate every week? Do you take some time to recruit people?
Yeah, I spend at least an afternoon to meet people, either
Okay.
through interview or meet some more senior people to chit chat with them to see how they see the market, and then to learn from them how I can improve this kind of thing. So I spend a lot of time, to meet the different people.
You spoke about the culture. What is the culture of your company? What is the DNA of yours?
That's a good question. I think engineering is definitely the culture of the company. We I can't emphasize enough on how we see quality. Okay, every step, every source code that we write, we roll, we spend a lot of time to do code review or the checking or testing. We want everything automated, tested, these kind of things. We spend a lot of time to ensure the quality is high enough. So engineering is one of the culture, and the culture is like most of the startup, fun. Okay, fun is very important and a flat culture. So I spend a lot of time with my team. We have gathering every month. Yeah, every month we call it the learning day. We spend time together to share what books are you reading, what have you learned in the past 1 month, or what failure or mistake you made. You can share with the team, or this kind of stuff. So we have a good retrospective, every single month, and then to discuss how we can improve as a team or improve the communication and what else need you help do you need this kind of thing. So we are really flat culture. And one thing is they don't treat me like a boss. They I would say they treat me like a friend. A
Okay.
friend. When you need help, you ask for your friend. When you need some consultation, that you need to ask a friend. And most of the time, I just let them do their work. I don't ask them or don't tell them what to do. I just provide my advice like coach. Yeah, like coach. Yeah, yeah. I ask them. Okay, maybe you check this, you check that, and then you do the rest. I don't comment on anything. This kind of thing.
How is
Like coach.
organized your company? Is it mostly engineers? Is it mostly like UI UX developers? Is it mostly sales?
Most of them are engineer.
Okay.
Even our project manager, they are graduate from my engineering backgrounds. Yep. And we don't have much salesperson. I think that's one of the mistake I'm making. Yeah, I'm trying to improve that. Uh, we only have two salesperson in the team.
Mhm.
Yep, we want more. We want more, and then we actually be hiring. So if your audience and if anyone looking for a sales job in Hong Kong, do reach me out.
Okay.
Yeah,
How can they reach out to you?
just hook me up in LinkedIn or Facebook. Yeah, you can just search my name. Yep.
And what drives your organization? You spoke about your teams, your clients, but there is anything else that driving your organization right now?
I want to make the team greater. I want my teammate to feel successful. That's my one vision. Okay, because they are following me and we work as a team. I want them to feel proud of the company. This is one of the top priority of my job. Another thing that drives the company, drive the product vision is really my mom.
Okay.
Okay,
Why?
it's my mom.
She's
Be-
working with you?
no, she's my boss.
Okay.
I'm her own personal assistant. So when every time my mom told me that, hey son, help me to pay the bill, help me to pay the credit card bills or these kind of things, I said, so just so easy. You just use your phone, tap the app, and then do the transaction, these kind of things. But she never learned. I have no idea why things are so easy that she never learned. So I become her assistant. So I just imagine if one day we have everybody have only your own assistant, you can transfer the money, you can pay the bills, you can turn on the TV or whatever. You just have your own assistant to help you to arrange your life. That would be great. just like those movie, scientific movies. So this kind of things really drive our product vision. We want to build something that even my mom can use or uh, mm, can leverage to help to improve her life, to make her life easier.
This is a good vision for a company. Like I try every time to explain to my father or like to my uncle what I'm doing. So, but some of the topics are more difficult. Like if you speak about the cryptocurrencies,
Yeah,
it's difficult for them to understand, right?
yeah. They have no idea what is NFT. What's that? Is a JPEG? What? I pay money to buy a JPEG? They really have this kind of mindset.
You spoke about the first challenge you got with that big insurance at the beginning of this interview.
Yep.
Do you wish to know a couple of things when you start your company, except how to manage this customer?
Yeah, a lot of things I want to know. So one particularly is how to manage a project. It's very difficult, and how to manage people. People means your clients, your staff, your family's people. Because I'm doing a startup,
Mhm.
I am bearing a lot of pressure. My family bear a lot of pressure. I have to manage this kind of thing. I have to manage my girlfriend. Yeah. Okay. So I wish I know if I can go back, I will manage them better. Give them timelines or give them what I thought, give them plans. This kind of stuff. Another thing is uh, uh, managing startups means managing your run rate, your financial. One thing I regret I didn't do is aggressive enough, because when the company we start, we always bootstrap. We do not ask for any investment or any money from external, because we want to build a company in the most comfortable way. But then I learned that startup is not doing that way. Startup means scale. So one thing, if I can go back, I would definitely go outside to raise money and to scale the team. But the question is, if I have the money, how to scale the team? That's a $1 million question, because uh, you are a team of three, you have different problem, and when you have 10 people, you have 20 people, and you have 100 people, you are going to face different problems, and I don't have any experience before. Yeah. So if I can go back, I would definitely scale the team. At the same time, find some good mentors to help me to scale the team.
Oh, interesting. And what about like setting goals? Did you had experience there, or it was something you were missing as well?
I was missing back then, because setting goal is so, it's, I would say, is an art. Okay. So for example, if I told my team, oh, the goal of this year is we need to make 10 million revenue. But a goal is a goal. We need to have steps go towards the goal. And when once you set the goal, the next question is going to be, how can we get there? Okay. What else do we need? This kind of skills, I don't have this kind of skill back then, but now I'm very comfortable I can do that. But back then was just like a fresh graduate. I said, okay, what goal? I don't have any goal. I just sort of think that building things is fun. So just build the things first. Okay, don't just forget about the goals or anything. Build the things, and then also naively think that when you build something good enough, customer will come.
Yes.
Yeah, I was so naive, back then. So I just told my team, okay, we don't have to do any marketing. We don't have to do any PR. We just focus on building things, and then the good client will come up to pay us the money. But turns out it's not. We have been suffering a period of time. Back then, I still remember my bank account, the company's bank account is negative 100.
Okay.
How is that possible? You know, because because back to then, I have the money in the bank. I tell my staff, hey, this is the paycheck for this month. Remember to bank in. Okay, don't wait next month, because I don't think next month I have money to pay you or not. My colleague, he didn't bank in. He kept the check. So in the next month, I was calculated my bank account. Okay, just enough to pay the salary this month. And then he banked in the check from last month.
Okay.
So suddenly, I don't have enough balance to pay that check, and then the bank uh, uh, deduct or fine me some of the transaction fee or the handling fee. So my bank account suddenly become minus 100.
Oh my God. And how did you live that experience? How was it? It was a turning point for you? It was something difficult to handle?
It's extremely difficult to handle because as a founder, I don't take much salary. I do have salary, but not that much. And then I need to ask my parents to borrow some money
Hmm.
for this month. Okay, I was still worried about the next month. Uh, but yeah, we survive.
How
The
did you
point.
find the force to, like the energy to fight against this kind of situation and succeed to, solve this issue?
Talk to friends, just like I said, find some good friends, good friends, go to meet some people because I believe a lot of startup founders they experience pains like this, watching your account going down and down and these kind of things. I think it's very usual for startup founders. So just talk to the friends, release your negative energy, and then you go back to work and work hard, even harder. And yeah, we are so lucky. I remember after 6 months or 4 or 5 months, and then we got our client, and then we got a big check, and then everything goes smooth after then. Yeah.
I experienced a really bad experience when I started to work in startup. One of the first startup I was working. I
Hmm.
was not the founder, but I joined early stage company, and yeah, the company didn't survive.
Mm.
So for a couple of months, I was working, and I didn't get any paycheck at that time.
Ah, that's too bad.
Yeah, I mean, like it's part of my path, right?
Yeah.
It's my background right now. But
Yeah.
I understand like what can be the struggle for employees, but also entrepreneur there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of myth about how people see startups. Because when I tell my friends, other friends, not very close, they say, "Oh, you're startup founders. You must be very very rich, and you don't have to do anything because your colleague will do everything for you." These are all fantasy. I told them quite the opposite. Okay, because as staff founder, you have to take out the money and then to fund the company, to pay the salary, pay the rank, the rent, pay everything, and then you have to do all the things. You have to clean the toilet yourself. Can
Yeah.
you imagine that? So I also tell them that's not true. As a startup founder, you are not a listed, you are not a CEO of a listed company. You are just a startup founder. You have to be humble and these kind of things. Yeah, that's very fun.
What are some of the mistakes you have made, and how could you have avoid them?
Oh yeah, I did a lot of mistake. Just like I mentioned, I did not aggressive enough.
Hmm.
Another mistake I made is I not firing fast enough.
Okay.
Because I remember at the early beginning, I hired some people because they are friends of friends,
Hmm.
because they recommend and I get to access to them and I hire them. And I did not think about the culture perspective. I did not think about the productive perspective. I did not think about from the goal setting perspective. Just hire people, put it there, tell them to do work, and then the work awful and the way that we interact is so bad, the experience so bad. I was wonder, okay, did a mistake hiring him? I was always have this kind of thoughts. I was wonder how the company looks like without him, or have somebody replacing him. So if I look back, I wish I would fire him or her earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of keeping them, because the people there will spread the bad energy and then ruin the whole team, and then make the culture become something bad and have side effect to other peoples as well.
So
So
it's toxic person into your companies.
yeah, 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 yeah. So one of the mistake I made, and then the mistake I made is is I won't say that's a mistake, but I would say it's inexperience.
Okay.
Okay, about working with the client. I still remember because one time we the schedule was delayed, and then I told the client that I'm sorry, one of the teammate was sick, and then he didn't come to work, and the schedule was delayed, and then the client said, "Oh, if somebody feels sick in your company, your whole company will be slowed down." Oh, I was shocked because back then I was like, to be honest, it's good, right? So
Mm.
I tell the client that one of my colleagues feels sick, and then please forgive us. But the reality is not that way. It's quite the opposite. They don't care about you're sick or not, just care about the schedule, this kind of things. So and back to then, I don't have any resilience mindset or resilient plan. So it was a mistake, or I can say it's inexperience.
This is a good point. I was just reading the notes we took just before this interview, and I really like what you just shared with us.
Yeah.
Couple of things I want to speak because you speak about right now about clients,
Mm,
so big banks and insurance working with you. What are most of the obstacle for you? What are the like hurdles when you work with this
mm,
big corporate, and how do you bring the vision of developing a new product or creating strong partnerships, innovate
mm.
with them?
Yeah. One of the major blockers that we have been facing all the time is about compliance and security, especially on the data. Because we are AI company, we train a lot of AI models. We need our customer to provide the data. We don't have the end user data. So one very important challenge is how we can transfer the data from the bank or from the FSI to us is a very, very difficult challenge. Even though we signed those NDA, I would still think they are not feel comfortable to transfer the data to us. So what we do, we have different way to solve it. One of or the most common way is we send our staff to work on site in the facility to work there. But the productivity will be largely reduced because we we for example we do a lot of data labeling, right? We have a bunch of freelancers or staff that at doing labeling for us. But we need to visit the institution or to go inside the facility to do the labeling. I can't bring all the freelancers into that buildings, so that makes the labeling become super slow, super inefficient. So that's one of the challenge that we face most of the time is how to get data transfer to us with everything compile to the compliance and the security requirement.
And how you help those companies to rethink their product, for example, speak to text or speech analytics?
Sorry, how do?
How do you support like after like having the compliance done and
Mm.
getting the data? How do you think like how do you help those companies to rethink their products? We
Okay. So when we have the model, we train it to them. So we push the end product to our customer. For example, I will share you with a very interesting story that we work. So we build a voice bot with a very large contact center in Hong Kong. So you can just call the hotline and then ask your question. So we was think that people how the end customer perceive the AI chatbot.
Mhm.
They think that they are super artificial, super intelligent, or super dumb, or this kind of. We have debate with a client. So we found that when end customer or end user they interact with those AI services like the voice bot, when we fail to get correct answer, they will adjust themselves. So maybe at the first time I called it, I have super high expectations that hey, I expect that you recognize my voice and I don't have to say anything. You get my you can read my mind. They found out not working in that way. They found out they have to maybe repeat the sentence, maybe have to rephrase the sentence, maybe speak a little bit slow, a little bit louder, a little bit clear, so that the AI can catch all the things. I think it's I observe we found that it is so natural that people adjust themselves instead of they will complaining or just give up the interaction. They will adjust themselves to fit the AI system, how to get the result from it. So we think that's very interesting because we thought that people or the end user have a lot of high expectation about the service, but in fact it's not. In fact, it's not. It's quite the opposite. They think this kind of service can help them to solve their problem. They would rather adjust a bit in order to get fast response or fast information that they want to save their time. So that's very interesting findings.
And how do you help those customer to adjust themselves with the chatbot there? Is it easy? Do you need to train them a bit, or do you need to just give them enough information to just adjust?
We find that we don't have to train the end customer, the caller or the end user a lot. I believe that because the chatbot or voice bot they have common nowadays. They have experience interacting with them, so they can pick it up very naturally and easily. Yeah, this is from our observations.
We spoke about a lot about the past and the present right now. But what's next for your company and what's next for you?
We definitely want to scale. That just like I said before, we are not aggressive enough in the past years. Right now, we have investment, and we want to scale the company to the next level and expand our presence into overseas, like maybe in mainland China or Singapore, Malaysia. That we are definitely looking in that area. We're trying to grow the business.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And for you, what is the next level? What is next in your agenda as a person?
Well, my agenda is always the same: building the team, building a winning team. Yeah, I'm going to meet more and more talent or experienced people, especially people with expertise how to scale the company. I need the helps from them. Yeah, okay, that's always my top agenda: to meet people and build a winning team.
Wow, this is interesting.
Yeah,
We are close to the end of this interview, so I would like to ask you a more personal question and
sure.
more like open question, less on your focusing on your company. There is any book or
Mm.
recommendation you have to share with anyone watching this video or listening this podcast?
Yeah, I like reading books because you can really get knowledge from them. So I have three books to recommend. The first one is about setting goals, how to set the goals and then achieve the goals is very important. Setting goal is not it's the only first step, but the more importantly, how to achieve that goal. That book is Atomic Habits from James Clear.
Mhm.
I think that one is everybody's must read, a must read item for everybody. Yeah, yeah, Atomic Habits. Another one is to for people who want to interested to learn more about sales. Is from inevitable from impossible to inevitable. Is that one is actually the second book from the author of the Predictable Revenue. In that book, you're going to learn how you can structure the company or how you build your sales pipeline so that you can predict your revenue. Because we are doing a B2B business, the selling cycle is super long for us. So have a predictable sales pipeline is very important for us. Another one I would greatly recommend. I thought that book is uh, underrated. It's called Build to Sell.
Mhm.
It's for people who want to start their own startup. Because Build to Sell that book, they give really it's a novel. It's a fake story. Is that the main character is trying to sell his own company. So the author will take you through the whole process, how that character can from a small company to growth and then to sell the whole to exit the whole process. You
So,
can you experience that, and that book is really really nice and inspired me a lot about how to run a startup.
so those are your top three
Yeah.
recommendation. Um, do you have any blog or your company has any blog where we can read articles?
We have our own LinkedIn, but we don't all up. Just like I said, we do not do enough in PR or marketing. We
Mhm.
are our blog didn't update for a long time. We have a Medium page, but hasn't been updated like for years, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
to go back and tell my team to do that more.
And where we can learn more about you? Only on LinkedIn, or you have a Twitter we can follow, or any other platforms?
Yeah, mainly on LinkedIn. So you can just find me on LinkedIn and say hi to me. I will reply you back.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Kinni. It was a pleasure
You're
to have you
welcome.
today.
Yep.
And I have a lot of
Cheers.
fun. Cheers.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for listening this podcast or watching this video. It was great to have Kinni here. And I will see you next week on Wednesday for another interview with another Asian tech figures. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.